Hey Richie, let's take a look at your week 1 assignment 2. A couple things not necessarily visual related. One is if you pop two of your kind of pages together on the same JPEG, you can make it a little bit bigger. You don't have to keep it with the specs. Yours is actually 8 by 6, which is good, but I'd almost like everybody to work with the 800 by 600, which makes things just a little bit bigger. This is 100% at 800 by 600, and this is kind of a good size for me to be able to look at technique and even how the colored pencil is working with the marker in a kind of a much closer scale, as opposed to 800 by 600, which is just a little bit smaller. And the other thing is when you're labeling your attachments, just start off with your last name first, and then you can put whatever you want after that, but that just helps me to sort things whenever I'm taking a look and collating the work and things like that. Makes it easier for me. This is a good start. One thing that I notice kind of right away that I like a lot is your use of color. You know, each one of these, I guess other than this one, we're not really seeing any repetition from, one to the next. Obviously these need to be the same, but the fact that, the swatches with the colored pencil on them are all different is, I think, it really is something that you don't see a whole lot of for some reason. People, I guess, want to keep it relatively safe and just not stray too far from what they have in place. So this is, I think, working out well. Also, the thing that I notice is that the side-to-sides are all very good. Even on the colored pencil one, I can see that underneath they feel very consistent. Your paper does feel like it is very absorbent because the Venetian blind technique that you're doing is you don't notice the strokes individually as much, and we can take like a look at Nathan's here, and here it's very clear where each stroke that he made was done, because the paper doesn't absorb and spread the ink out as much. So this I think is not necessarily a problem here, but it might start to become a problem if you do a lot of color mixture with the markers. If you're overlaying a series of grays or colors on top of the grays, you might start to see a little bit of bleeding. So it's something to keep an eye on, but right now it's not, I don't think it's too bad, other than we just don't get to see each of your strokes being defined as you're working through the tile. But I can see that you're cutting your edges, which is very good, and I can obviously see that you're working with the blind, even though I don't see each distinct stroke being made. The colored pencil ones, I'm having a little bit of a hard time seeing in some cases where the colored pencil is being used. These two in particular. Down below it's a little bit easier to make out. I do think you've done a nice job with the ones down here. I think you can try and be a little more aggressive with the colored pencil in just a few of these, just to see what it can do. I would wait until the marker has dried completely before applying the colored pencil, because if it's wet, it has a tendency to push the tooth of the paper down if the marker has still kind of kept the paper wet. If the paper is dry, it'll catch the colored pencil a little bit better. You'll get a little bit of a rougher texture, but you don't have to kind of finagle the colored pencil as much to get to do what you want it to do. But this is a very good start. Some nice coloring, I think good kind of showing of the technique, and a nice kind of presentation to the assignment, other than just getting it to be a little bigger. It looks great, and I think you're looking good as you move to the next assignment.